G'day guys, how's it going? My name is Sean and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to share with you a quick guide on the settings that I use for OBS for when I stream on Twitch. I generally try and stream on Twitch every Monday and every Thursday from roughly 9 to 11 PM Sydney time here in Australia. So this is going to be a guide on the settings that I use, as the screen I currently have is a LG UD68 4K screen. I game at 2560 by 1440 and then I downscale it again to 720p within OBS. The Intel CPU that I'm using is a 7700K and the GPU is an AMD RX 580 8GB. The internet connection that I'm currently using, pretty lucky to get a fiber connection straight into the apartment here. So I get a 90 megabit connection coming down and a 30 megabit connection for uploading, which is absolutely plenty for simultaneous gaming and streaming. So please follow along. If you have any questions, make sure you watch until the end. Leave those questions down below. If you want to know more about the PC that I'm using and the setup that I'm gaming on, I'll leave links to that in this video by a little card on the side somewhere, so you can click on that and have a look at that as well. But please follow along as we go through this guide, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Okay guys, so I'm currently on my desktop. Before I take you through my OBS settings, I'll quickly just show you the system specifications in case you're interested in that kind of thing. The computer I'm using, it's a Windows 10 PC running a 7700K at 4.2 GHz, 16 GB of RAM, and it's Windows 10 Pro 64-bit. So I'll jump back out of that and we'll go into OBS. So inside of OBS, I've already got mine set up, and this is assuming that you've already got OBS installed. But this is going to be just a summary on the settings that I use for the stream itself, not necessarily the layout and where I position things or what settings to have for your audio or your resolution for your webcam or anything like that. This is just going to be the settings that I use. So I'm just going to jump into the settings of OBS, and what we can see here on the left hand side is a bunch of different options. So we're going to click on video, and so the base canvas resolution, I've got mine set to the native resolution of my monitor, which is 3840 by 2160. So that's just going to be the canvas for what we see here. So for example, I've got my Twitch background full screen at 3840 by 2160. What the viewers watch on Twitch, they view at 1280 by 720. I could go up to 1080p, but my CPU and GPU just can't really handle 1080p at 60 frames. I would have to drop it down to 30 frames a second. So if you've got lower than a quad core or your system isn't very powerful, I would definitely suggest you to lower your resolution, increase your FPS rather than going for the highest resolution and a lower FPS, as the majority of viewers I find are going to be viewing on an iPhone or an iPad, so the ultra high resolution for them is not really going to matter. So the output is what, like I said, they'll be viewing. The filter, I've got it set to 32 samples just to give as much quality as possible at that low resolution, and I've got it set to 60 frames a second, which is the frame rate I generally game at. And it looks best, I think, for fast-paced action games rather than using the 30 or any of the other options here. You know, if you're broadcasting maybe something for TV or for sport or like a web broadcast for something that wasn't gaming, then you might want to use 24 or 29. But for gaming, I'd recommend 60 if your internet connection allows it. The output settings, so this is where now we have a bit more control over the bit rate. So the bit rate will essentially determine the quality of the broadcast. So you can have all of your video settings set the way you want, but if you don't have the bit rate to back it up, it's still not going to look great. So 3500 is actually what Twitch recommends for 720p, which is 1280 by 720, and I found that to be absolutely perfect. Going up to 4000 or 4500 does get a bit better in quality, but again, on a mobile phone or an iPad or something which doesn't have a super high resolution screen, it's going to look perfectly fine. The keyframe interval, I've kind of experimented with the auto setting and 1 and 2 and 3. I would just recommend 2. That's the information that I've been getting online, and that's what a lot of other people are using as well. So they're the settings that I use inside of Twitch. If you want to do more advanced stuff, you can actually go ahead and look online for more information. As far as the encoder, I could use the GPU, the AMD encoder built into the graphic card, but I find that doing that results in me having less performance for the game itself. And as I've got a bit more headroom on my processor, I'd rather just choose the X264 encoder. So these are the settings that I use. Once you've modified any of your settings, you can just hit apply and you're off and running. So thanks so much for watching this video. Hopefully this video gave you a bit more confidence on the settings that you need to use within OBS. If you did like this video, then consider giving me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below as well. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitch, Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to know more about the gear that I use, or you'd like to purchase the gear that I use, I'll leave Amazon affiliate links for that down below as well. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.